Do these actually work? Do these actually work?
Yes.
How about this? Am I coming through? Testing 1, testing 2? How about this? Working with me, working with me, working with me. All the way up?
Yeah.
Alright, how about this? Oh yeah, now we're going. Now we are talking. It is 10:30. And technically, I believe this panel is supposed to be beginning, although I see no sign of my co-host, who I hope will come. Hello, welcome to Bad Fanfic Theater. We're going to be having a lot of fun reading some absolutely atrocious fan fiction here today. Can I help you?
You've been in here in the past, right?
I have.
And did you read Sonic the Hedgehog?
I did. In fact, we believe if Ernor shows up, we will be doing Sonic High School, more of it today.
Cool. I got the co-host with you for a while, like here.
Here or at First Square?
No, it's
Okay. I think I've done this 2 consecutive years, maybe just 1. I think I've only actually done this last year. So Ernor did this 2 years ago. I'm hoping Ernor shows up. If he does not, we will be doing some other things, because I do not know where we will be beginning. I'm going to give him 2 or 3 more minutes for my co-host to show up. If not, I'm going to be starting with some alternative warm-ups.
Actually, everybody thought that I do have a warm-up, man.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, sorry I'm late.
Hey, you're here. Good.
Yeah.
Everybody was supposed to be here, thought the door was locked.
Oh,
We were all at that
well,
one.
that door's locked, but that one's
It
open.
says
All right,
locked.
good. I tried to. Okay, so actually, do you have? Are you connected? We're doing more Sonic, right?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Let's see.
Do you recall what chapter we were on when last we did this?
Give me a moment here, please.
One moment.
What are you
Shit, where's my drink?
We are going to be reading more of Sonic High School, which is what we were reading last IFC, and I believe we are going to be continuing where we left off. Would you like to take one of the microphones?
Yes, I will take it.
Can we get Mike on the blue? You might have turned it actually on.
Testing. There we go. La 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 la. We're going to read some terrible fan fiction for charity.
Do you recall what chapter we were on?
We were on chapter, I believe it was.
We are continuing from last IFC.
Yes, hang on. What am I? Sorry, I can't take that call right now. We're continuing from last IFC, and we're going to.
I don't know how he knows what chapter we were on, but
I will tell you exactly how I know what chapter we were on. We ended with the chapter where Sonic gave the lunch lady incredible inside the vagina head sex.
incidentally, we will probably want to be closing the doors out there for this. This is an 18+ panel.
Why would any children be awake for this?
I did see one kid around
So,
30
yeah.
minutes ago. 30, 40 minutes ago.
We just need a story number, and then we're going to start. The way this works is I will be reading narration. Ernor will be reading all dialogue. He will be doing different voices for different characters. You, for charity donations, if I recall correctly, will be able to request various impressions.
Yes, and I cannot guarantee whether or not some of these impressions will stay consistent, because unlike an actual script where I have the character's name in front of all the spoken dialogue, I will be having to exercise my live-action reading skills by skipping in the dialogue to read exactly which character is speaking, and then reading the dialogue in my head.
Get us a chapter.
So the chapter we are looking for is it's a chapter. I think it is. Let's see here. This one is. Nope, that's the one. Chapter 17. Nope, I know exactly which one we want now. All right, we want to go one more, because we're on chapter 17 right now, but as we all know, this con and this panel is devoted to 18 and up. So we're going to start with chapter 18.
All right,
The Murderer.
Chapter 18 of Sonic High School, The Murderer. And if we run out of Sonic High School chapters, I have a backup fanfiction to continue reading until we reach the end of this panel.
I don't think that'll be a problem.
But do you think we're going to be?
I think we'll do just fine.
All right. So, welcome everybody to Bad Fanfic Theater. As mentioned, if you would like to request any particular voices from Ernor, please come up, give money for a charity, and request them. We begin with Chapter 18 of Sonic High School, The Murderer. Vector ran at Sonic and Knuckles Jr., who were there in his room with his teeth going 1,000,000 miles an hour.
Here comes your death, straight from my mouth,
said Vector as he ran at them, still going.
Yeah!
Shouted Sonic. Sonic was fast and able to do it, so he ran forward and between Vector's legs, under his body, and hit his head into Vector's penis while sliding through. He was still holding Knuckles Jr., the baby. Sonic ran to another wall of the room, but Vector ran right back at him with his big crocodile bite move, and Sonic dodged him again, and it kept happening again and again.
Yeah, stop it!
Shouted Sonic.
Stop doing this!
Sonic was sick of hitting his head into Vector's penis. It was beginning to leave a mark, and it was embarrassing to Sonic to have someone else's penis mark on your head.
This better come out before school,
said Sonic, rubbing the mark Vector's penis left on his forehead.
No, you must die,
said Vector, and continued to be the murderer that he had turned out to be.
No, stop, come on,
said Sonic, yelling, and he was getting so mad. But Vector ran at him another time, and Sonic kept hitting his thick green crocodile dick, and it kept getting harder now every time he hit it. Sonic guessed weird things like this were sexy to Vector. Sonic kept hitting his penis and making it harder and harder until one time, Sonic slided under where his penis and stuff was and hit it with his head again, so semen ejaculated out of his penis and across the floor in a big long puddle, like a slip and slide covered with mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise.
All right,
said Sonic. Vector looked shocked, like he did not even notice that his penis was turning into a hard penis. Now Sonic threw Knuckles Jr. at the puddle of Vector's semen. Knuckles Jr. glided across Vector's semen like a baby speedboat and did a roller coaster turn and flew up onto Vector.
No.
Knuckles Jr. landed somewhere on him and did a tumble forward and got to his head where he poked Vector's eyes, and Vector began to scream.
Ah, bitch baby, that hurts, I'll kill you,
screamed Vector, while Knuckles Jr. rolled off his body and over to the door of his room.
Over here, Sonic,
said Knuckles Jr., while Vector was still rubbing his eyes, which hurt from the attack. Sonic ran over to the door and with his speeding legs, kicked it down like a professional wrestler, picking a person up and hitting them down onto the ground through a door. Sonic then picked up Knuckles Jr. and ran through the door and down the hall through Vector's house and saw lots of green things and things that were about crocodiles, and also bad things like rooms full of drugs and guns, and even things that were weird African porn videos. Then he got to a different door and opened it and walked into the other side and closed the door and put some things in front of the door to block it. Then, with a stomping loud noise like a bowling ball with legs was jumping up and down on the floor and hitting it hard, Vector went up to the door and put his body on it, trying to crash through it like a penis going into a big hard vagina.
Open this door!
Screamed Vector as he tried to hit it down.
No! Why did you kill Chubby?
Shouted Sonic at Vector, who was on the other side of the door that was hard to get through.
Because Knuckles messed it all up. Knuckles, or Espio, was supposed to kill the other one when they fought in the school hallway that one time. I made that fight happen because I wanted one of them to die, because they were both fag lords.
By the way, guys, there's going to be a lot of that.
Yeah, by the way, there's a lot of homophobia.
Yeah, there's severe homophobia, and just want to let you guys know. It's in here, we don't condone it, but we are going to
We are reading it because it is incredibly stupid.
After all, Sonic does have a big gay dick.
Sonic does have a big gay dick. That is a very important thing.
A big gay dick, not to mention an unfathomably horrible ball disease that
Anyway,
we will get to.
Please continue. Hopefully not again, but it will probably come up.
I wanted one of them to die because they were both fag lords, and they are the only people who could beat me and become the new football team captain. So, I went to Knuckles' house instead, and replaced him with a robot Charmy, and took the real Charmy home, and chewed on his broken body, and made him into meat that I can use for meals. He was no use to anyone, especially not me. None of you are!
Vector screamed and hit the door, but still could not get through.
Where did you get a Charmy robot? Is Eggman involved? This could ruin things for everyone, don't you know?
Said Sonic back to Vector, like a ship sending a message to a different ship.
When you begin to do crimes, you become dark. And now, I have become darker than shadow. I make friends with Al-Qaeda, and they made me a charming robot using Osama bin Laden's technology. He was bulletproof and was going to kill the first Knuckles. And then SPO, and the hospital, and then maybe the rest of you if I wanted. But you messed it up! Shit, idiot! Ah!
Vector hit on the door so hard that it actually started to break.
Let's get out of here.
Said Knuckles Jr.
We can call police. Let's just get out of here and get safe.
Then Sonic and Knuckles ran out of the house, but just when they were doing that, Vector broke through the door and jumped like an alligator at Sonic and Knuckles Jr. and hit them to the ground and landed on top of them.
Now I will kill you, just like I did to Charmy,
said Vector and opened his mouth really big to bite their bodies. But then, all of the sudden, something came out of the sky and picked them up, and Vector was left there on the ground looking like a teen loser.
We're in the air now,
said Tails.
I rescued you.
Tails was using his flying tails to fly and was holding Sonic, who was holding Knuckles Jr. They were like a helicopter?
Question mark?
Wait, how did you know we were here?
Said Sonic, who was so shocked to be in this situation.
I looked the Charmy robot and figured out it was from Al-Qaeda. It broke. It's the government computer network system data. I found out that Vector was friends with Al-Qaeda.
Said Tails, the smart friend of Sonic.
But I thought you were pissed at me.
Said Sonic, with a questioning sound.
I'm tired of being mad at you. We're best friends! Again!
Said Tails.
Cool! Now, let's get Vector.
Said Sonic. By now they were above the clouds, which is very high.
Fly down, and I will kick his face up.
Tails flew down fast, and Sonic held on to Knuckles Jr. really tightly. Sonic had his legs sticking out to kick, and they went down faster than a shooting star being shot out of a gun down. They went down back to the floor where Vector was and kicked Vector's face. Vector's head almost spun around because they hit him so hard, but now he was onto the ground.
Tails, do that one more time,
said Sonic. Tails flew up, and then Sonic revealed his balls even though he could see almost the whole country from up here. He did not care because this was more important. Sonic scratched his balls and held on to Knuckles Jr. while Tails flew down fast again. Sonic's balls dragged behind him in the sky, and then they went down to the bottom of the ground, and Sonic's diseased balls smacked right into Vector's face. No! Screamed Vector as Sonic's balls smacked into his mouth and nose and eyes like a plastic bag full of pudding. Vector looked into the sky and made an asshole face for the last time, and then he turned into stone, and then turned into dust, and was now dead.
I can be glad, for once, that my balls are very poisonous,
said Sonic as he looked at the pile of dust that was Vector before he died and did some squinting.
He is dead, and everyone is okay now.
Thank goodness,
said Knuckles Jr. to them.
That was too much excitement for one night. Look at the bright side,
said Tails to them.
2 of the worst fag ass teenagers in high school are dead.
Yes, It's all fixed now,
said Sonic. They took Charmy's body with them, but not Vector's, who was now a pile of dust, because they thought he did not deserve to be nice to. Then they went home to get ready for school tomorrow, and Sonic thought,
there are still more problems to deal with in high school. This is not over, especially not for me.
And that is the end of chapter 18. Are we going to mix up some of the voices at all?
I think we are.
Do we have any voice requests? Any donations for voice requests for Ernor here?
Yes, we have, I'm going through here, we have SBO, Tails, and guys, I can do, if somebody can come up here and will give me a donation, I will, once again, turn Shadow the Hedgehog into Tommy Wiseau.
Do we have a donation?
Do we have a donation?
Do we have the donation that turns Shadow the Hedgehog into Tommy Wiseau, please?
Do we have a donation? I would like to give
Thank
all.
Thank you. A donation for
breathing. Oh,
perfect.
You donate.
Goes to charity. Everything goes to charity.
You donate to the charity.
All right. Good
Thank
donation
you.
for charity.
Make the good donations.
Thank you all for joining us so far. Sonic's diseased balls have turned Vector the crocodile, who jumped at people like a crocodile, has turned him into dust, and he is dead, and now everybody is going back to school. And we will now begin with chapter 19. I would like to, by the way, personally request, I actually don't have a good change amount, but I'm going to put literally just a buck on you. Just change Tails' voice, please. I cannot take the stutters anymore.
Oh, okay.
I appreciate the reminder that when Sonic said his dialogue, he said it yelling.
Yeah, yelling. But please just change Tails' voice. I can't take the stutter anymore.
All right. How about Captain?
Someone
James. Take care.
Someone fast. Somebody who speaks fast. It's too slow.
Okay.
Think of it by the time we get back to Tails. Chapter 19 is called Secret Prostitute.
There's a part in here where I'm gonna request to take over the narration because it's a bit that I've been waiting to do literally for years.
Well, just tap me on the shoulder when you want to take it over.
I will do so.
Chapter 19. It was now a new day of school, and Sonic went right to school. Sonic had Knuckles and Knuckles Jr. in his backpack, since he still had them after explaining what happened to Knuckles yesterday. Sonic scratched his balls along the way, and they were only getting worse.
You look like spoiled meat,
said Sonic to his balls. Sonic got to school, and the first thing he did was bring Charmy's dead head to the theater club, because that was Charmy's favorite thing. And Sonic thought Charmy would like it if they used his face for a mask for the next play, now that he is dead. Then, Sonic took the rest of Charmy's body and put it outside in a trash can, so nobody would look and try and find it, and it could be safe and alone. Sonic went to his first class, and his second class, and even his third class, and else, and went to lunch, where there were his friends.
Hey guys,
said Sonic to them.
Hi, Sonic,
said SBO.
I am back from the hospital. Where's Charmy and Vector?
Well, they are dead,
said Sonic.
Vector killed Charmy, and we killed Vector, so they are now both dead. Vector was a bad guy, so we will not be in trouble.
Yes,
said Tails.
They will not come back to touch anyone. I rescued Sonic and Knuckles Jr.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, that's right. Where are Knuckles? My baby with Rouge and Knuckles Jr.
said SBO to Sonic and Tails.
They're right here. Here you go,
said Sonic, and Sonic gave the two babies to SBO. What a relief. Sonic was tired of having to take care of babies that were not even his. It is good that Sonic has the best morals of all Hughes School students, because any other person pretty much would not have taken good care of them.
Hey, ass butthole,
said Shadow.
It is my job to do the crimes.
Then Shadow laughed and high-fived Sonic for doing a good job. Sonic was the best.
Please explain. Sorry, God, I put my phone down and messed up the orientation. Please explain to Sybil what happened,
said Sonic to Shadow.
Okay.
I will explain it to him. I wish he was in the same launch period as us, but he's not,
said Shadow in an explaining way.
I would not high-five Sonic,
said Tails.
His balls are full of poison, and it is easily catchable.
Tails!
Screamed Sonic.
So it is true. You do really have a ball problem,
said Espio.
It is okay, Sonic. Other people have problems, and your balls are just like theirs.
I really hope not.
Okay, but this is different and bad, and getting only more worse,
said Sonic with a worrying voice.
Whatever.
It's almost summer,
said Tails.
That means high school is ending soon.
Cool!
Yeah!
Said everyone at the same time, because it was easier to. Then everyone went to different classes. Tails went to his smart class that he was in with Cream, but Cream was standing outside of the class where Tails went to.
And here we go.
Okay, I will turn this fully over to Ernor, who really wants to read this part.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Strap in.
Cream, you're standing outside the class. Why?
Said Tails to Cream. Didn't you hear? Charmy is dead. And it relaxes me so much because now I do not have to break up with him. Like, we can become true boyfriend and girlfriend now, said Cream to Tails in the hallway outside.
But we have class now,
said Tails to Cream. Forget class, Smarto, said Cream shoutingly. Cream pulled on Tails' hand until his whole body moved and brought him into the closet in the school. It was big enough for sex, is what Tails was. Cream locked the door and took off all of her clothing. Tails was so shocked, but he looked at her sexy body and it looked like a beautiful naked man with a vagina. Cream took out her vagini and showed it to Tails, and he went nuts. His penis got as hard as a printer because her vagina looked like a cold-cut platter.
Wow! Cool vagina!
Shouted Tails, losing his cool way because he was nervous and excited to miss class to have sex with Cream for the first time. Tails took out all of his penis and balls, which were already ready, and he jumped right into her invitation-only parts. Tails jumped up and down with his penis inside of her, cheering like a boy teen and shaking his fists in the air, like the Rocky movies, and Cream was happy because she was not a love expert too. Tails' penis kept getting bigger, and Cream's vagina was already pretty much full of his penis.
Make more room! We've got company!
Screamed Tails, and then he was able to stick his balls in too, under his penis. Tails fit so much genitals into Cream that it looked like there was an upside-down couch sofa in her vagina. Tails shook around like a crazy, and Cream was slapping her hands and ears into the doors and cleaning supplies in the closet. Cream then was now trying to make him even more sex-powered by putting on her boobs far enough out to touch his face like two big melty gummy bears on her body.
Putting on her boobs.
Yes.
Eat
from these, screamed Cheese, and her...
Cheese? Where's cheese getting involved? Oh my god, it's a gangbang now!
Screamed Cream, and her voice was breaking like a talking toy that had one of its batteries halfway out. My brother spilled juice on it, so it didn't work right.
The metaphors! They're so imaginative.
Tails sucked on her boobies while his penis was still in her and got all of the stuff out like he was eating yogurt only with his mouth. And it supercharged him with sex. Ah! Ready! Yelled Tails to Cream. And before she could say a thing, Tails started whipping his tails and flew up with his penis still in her and pointing his penis up so that she went up and was now stuck against the ceiling.
I'm about to make my semen. Get ready!
Said Tails out loud. Over the sound of his own tails were making, Tails flew even harder, and Cream got pushed into the metal ceiling so hard that it made a dent. and Tails' penis shot like a gallon of his own New England clam chowder into her first-time vagina. It got overfull and spilled plenty on the ground, but not both of them cared. Tails slowed down. His tail speed and his penis got smaller, and so did her vagina. And they were both out of breath. We are true boyfriend and girlfriend now,
said Cream and hugged Tails. Tails was so happy and shocked that he became true boyfriend and girlfriend before Sonic did it with Amy. Cream put her...
She fucked Charmy B?
I missed that. I had forgotten. That was a year ago, man.
It's like, the author doesn't give a shit about continuity, so why should we?
They weren't true boyfriend and girlfriend. You have to understand. That's when you do the flying, press into the ceiling, dead sex.
Yes.
Yeah. With the New England clam chowder. The New England clam chowder is very important.
Also known as the propeller pile driver.
I'm from Boston, by the way, and now I never want to have clam chowder again.
Why not?
Poor memories. Trauma.
Also, may I just catch me my drink, please, if you would?
Tails was so happy and shocked that he became true boyfriend and girlfriend before Sonic did it with Amy. Cream put her clothing back on and left, and Tails put his on too. They don't wear clothing. I know these characters. They don't wear clothes.
Cream wears gloves.
Well, no, they're talking about their gloves and their shoes.
Gloves and their shoes. That's true. They're naked without that. Then he looked at his penis and saw a golden ring on it.
What? What is this? What is it doing here? A big gold ring?
Said Tails, and he took off the bracelet off his penis.
Why was this in Cream's vagina?
He thought about it, and because he was smart, remembered where he saw this thing. At the end of school, Tails ran to Sonic privately and said,
Sonic, look.
What's that?
Said Sonic to Tails.
A big gold ring. Cool. Let's sell it for cash.
No,
said Tails to Sonic.
This is Amy's bracelet, and I found it in Cream's vagina.
What?
Said Sonic to Tails.
How did this get in there?
He took the ring and had it.
Well, I can only think of one thing.
Said Tails to Tails.
And here comes one of my favorite lines.
I do not mean to suggest this to you and say that she is being a bad girlfriend, but maybe Amy was giving Cream hand sex.
What? No way!
Shouted Sonic to Tails.
But that is the only thing that makes sense. Amy cheated on me. That loose woman. She's a concubine and a bitch.
Sonic got madder than Tails ever saw him get mad and ran off fast. Sonic did not know where he was running to, and to be real, he was not running anywhere. He was running in a really big circle around the town and crying and screaming because Amy cheating on him made him feel worse than anything. Sonic ran around for hours until all his feelings were out and he was tired from running and being sad and mad and feelings that are hard to say what they are. He stopped and said,
There was only one thing that could make this situation better. I have to go tell Amy that I know. Maybe she will say she is sorry.
Sonic went back to high school and over to the detention room. The security guard was waiting outside, but Sonic used his sonic speed to run over to him and punch him so hard in the throat that it closed up for a while and he became unconscious. Sonic took a key off from his keys thing and opened the door to the detention room and saw Amy and Rouge in the corner.
Can I read this last one?
Yes, sure, go.
Amy and Rouge were both sleeping, and they looked really skinny and hungry. It made their boobs look bigger, but they also looked steps from death. They had been in detention for days now, and they had not eaten or drinking at all. Sonic looked at Amy and felt bad for her.
It would be so easy to have sex with her right now,
said Sonic behind his face in his head, not out loud.
We could become true boyfriend and girlfriend, and I could pretend like none of this did happen.
Sonic thought about it a little bit and even gave his chubby blue penis a toss back and forth, like a baseball in a sock.
But no, we would not really be we would not really be true. Not when she cheated on me.
Sonic got ready to wake up Amy and show her her bracelet.
So we would just like to summarize that Tails found a bracelet in Cream's vagina, which implied that Amy was giving Cream hand sex, which ergo has sent Sonic into an existential crisis. And yeah, so that is chapter 19, Secret Prostitute.
Well, everyone,
Are we just gonna
I hope you're a big fan of Shadow the Hedgehog, because if you're afraid of sharp objects, you better blunt yourselves, because this next chapter contains some serious edge.
Edge. We got some edge. Who is Sonic's voice? Oh, sorry, who is Shadow's voice?
Shadow's voice is...
Less observant here. Amy to fail to notice that she no longer has the bracelet
Yes.
on her arm.
Well,
Or Cream for failing to notice that she apparently had a giant gold ring in her vagina?
I don't know. Well, maybe Cream was just really, really good at giving hand sex. I mean, we don't know. We're men.
Well, getting hand sex. I think Amy was the giver in this situation.
It's a give and take
Incidentally,
situation.
I mean, the Tails was all like, "Oh, this is Cream's first time" or whatever, but apparently it wasn't. Apparently, Cream is that's just. By the way, I think please don't hate us, because I'm pretty sure like Tails is 8 and Cream is 6, but I swear that really all goes out the fucking window.
No, the author specifically makes sure to mention in the summary for this fanfic that all the characters are 18. So
all right, everybody's been
okay.
aged up. All right, yes. So don't report us. Don't we are not canceled.
Yeah, we'll be okay.
All right.
Anyway,
I'm going to read the author's note into this one. Author's note. I am so happy because it is now summer now. Woohoo! I am done with school for this year, but here I come, 8th grade. Also, I will be away on a vacation next week, so I will not be able to write another chapter until after I am back from being on the vacation.
No, sorry, no. Vasection.
Vasection, yes. So, chapter 20, New Sonic.
Wake up!
Said Sonic to Amy as he kicked her a little on the ground where she was lying, looking like a dead woman. But she was not actually dead.
Yeah. Wake up.
Amy opened her eyes and blinked and rubbed her eyes, and then she sat up a little.
Sonic?
She said in a voice like a person who was living poorly.
Is that you?
Amy looked so old and dead from being in detention. It looked like she did not eat or drink at all in a week.
Yes, it is. Now listen,
said Sonic angrily to Amy, who was still on the ground looking up while looking dying.
Do you know where I found this?
Sonic held out Amy's big gold bracelet from her hand that she was not wearing, so it must have been hers.
What?
Said Amy to Sonic, looking confused and tired.
That is mine. Where did you find that? Holy shit, Amy.
Amy coughed and sounded like diseased African kids.
Wow, idiot. I just asked you that.
Said Sonic to Amy in an angry and annoyed way.
So, you're not gonna tell me where this bracelet was?
I don't know.
Said Amy to Sonic with a crackly sounding voice.
It was in Cream's vagina. That is where.
Said Sonic to Amy.
Why was your jewelry in another girl's vagina?
Screamed Sonic.
I
said Amy, trying to say what she wanted to in a response to Sonic.
Say you're sorry to me.
Shouted Sonic at Amy.
No, Sonic,
said Amy in still a slow dying way like that.
Fuck you. If you're not gonna say you're sorry for cheating on me with another girl's vagina, then we are done!
Shouted Sonic with all of his rage running out of his mouth like a train full of swords. Sonic goes also... I'm sorry, I lost it.
I have not had nearly enough.
Sonic did not even notice he was crying, which was out of his eyes.
I mean, I can...
Yeah, go. Sonic, go.
Sonic,
Ciao,
said Amy like a weakling, but before she could say the rest of her words, Sonic ran out of the detention room and shut the door behind him so they were still in there and he did not rescue them. Sonic ran fast as he could to his home and slammed the door behind him and screamed into his bed and cried and punched things and was just so emotional. Sonic could not take all of this pain from being betrayed by his girlfriend. The person he was one day going to go and get married to and have children with and live in a house with and be with together. Sonic knew it was not fair that this would happen, and that he also had the deadliest disease in the world and would end up dying before everyone else. He cut his wrists a little, but did not do it too much because it was dangerous, like they said at the presentation at school. Sonic cried so hard that he fell asleep, and then he woke up a little while later and looked in the mirror at himself. He did not want to see him anymore because that was all about him being ruined by other people, even when he was the nicest to everyone. Sonic reached into his drawers and pulled out a black hair dye.
Oh,
Sonic
shit.
filled up the bathtub with his dye, and it looked like a portal to evil world. And then took a bath in it, and when he came out, all of his fur was black. There was no blue on him anymore anywhere. He looked like Shadow, but only similar. Sonic looked into the mirror again, now that he was not blue anymore. He did not say anything, but only looked at himself and looked angry, but not at himself, but at everyone else.
Yeah, Sony wished I looked this good.
Then, Sonic next jumped out of his bedroom window instead of going around and down and using the front door. It was bad, like something Shadow would do. Sonic ran away to the tattoo store and looked at their tattoos. They were all gay. He did not see one that he wanted, but then he went to the tattoo man and threatened him until he let him into the secret back room of tattoos for free. There were lots of cool, bad tattoos back in the back room, like ones with guns and cigarettes and motorcycles and middle fingers, and some with also curse words on them. But Sonic knew which one he wanted finally when he saw it. Sonic got "fuck girls" tattooed right across his chest because he was sick of being ruined by girls like Amy and Cream, who let Amy into her vagina so it was the fault of her too. Sonic ran back home and waited for the next day, kicking and punching things the whole time like a badass.
You want me to take one of these? This is a little... dude, come here, man. Yeah, come here.
Good guest reader?
Yeah, well, maybe always something.
No, I got it. It's right here. I'm just reading ahead, and this next paragraph is fantastic.
It was now the next day.
It was now the next day of high school, and new Black Sonic went to school, looking like an angry black man. Instead of a nice blue man. Blue Andrew? No. Like he was every other day. This was a new Sonic, and everyone was better. And everyone better watch out because he was sick of the world. Shadow was walking the hallway and he saw Sonic.
Hey, Sonic.
Said Shadow to Sonic.
What is up with your new black fur?
Hold on one sec. Do you have any requests at all? Just, alright, well thank you very much.
Well, I was gonna, guys, for, since Sonic is new, Black Sonic,
I think it's time to give him a new voice.
Alright, I like it.
He's got a stalk like he smoked a million cigarettes a day. Chesterfields, no filter. Don't talk to me.
said Sonic in a voice darker than Shadow when he was committing crimes. He sounded so angry. Why are you trying to copy of me now?
Shadow laughed and smiled, saying this to Sonic. Sonic gave him one look, and almost like being black gave him powers. Sonic punched Shadow right in the mouth on his face, and Shadow went flying across the room and hit the wall and was all bloody. Sonic kept walking like nothing happened at all, but other people were looking and were now becoming scared of the new Black Sonic.
Sonic...
You have to say black, like...
Oh, take the red one.
Red one?
Get him.
power button?
Yep.
Oh, like that?
Yep,
Cool.
there we go.
Sonic
Hey, it's
went.
red.
Sonic went
Oh,
too.
no, I'm not a red mage.
Should be black. So you can have your rage.
No.
Sonic went to all of his classes, but did not talk to anyone. Even Miss Lesson and other teachers looked afraid of Sonic, because he was now scary. Sonic did do some things though, like shove a teenager idiot into his locker, and then punched a student who had autism for laughing at him. Fuck you, autism. Sonic did not go to lunch, though. My screen went black. He just went outside where no one was and masturbated on his penis and thought about his angry feelings, which were like giant bees flying around on fire. Then, Tails came outside.
Sonic, I was looking for you, and I found you. Why are you not at lunch?
Said Tails to Sonic, who was sitting on a curb thing.
Why?
Leave me alone.
Said Sonic to Tails in an angry way like before.
Why are you mad?
Said Tails to Sonic.
I said, leave me alone.
Shouted Sonic to Tails, and he threw a rock at him. The rock missed Tails, and Tails went over to Sonic.
No, Sonic, you are my best friend.
Said Tails to Sonic.
Tell me what is wrong. Why are you black?
Sonic looked mad and frustrated, but let off a little bit and opened up to Tails like a book opening.
Fine. That bitch Amy, who is not my girlfriend anymore, would not say sorry to me. So I broke up with her.
Said Sonic to Tails, but Sonic was not looking at Tails and was looking at the ground.
Oh my god, panic!
Said Tails to Sonic. He was looking at Sonic, though.
No, I'm over her.
I am different. Oh my god, I just realized I'm reading him like Solid Snake from Metal Gear.
I want to keep it.
Oh god, yes.
He's a solid state
Yes,
for Metal Gear
yes,
now.
yes, perfect. It's perfect. Yeah. No, I'm over. No, I'm over her. I am different now. I have learned about the world, and I am not so stupid and habit like that I used to be. I am black now.
Sonic said to Tails, sounding still angry, even though he was talking to Tails.
Oh, okay.
Said Tails, sounding sad and disappointed. Disappointed, everyone. Disappointed.
I wanted to make sure you were okay. Espiel was worried about you too. He also said Knuckles might fail out of school because he is now a baby and is having the hardest time doing his classes as a baby. I brought you a sandwich.
Tails gave the sandwich to Sonic, and he ate it like a rhino chewing up a bag of humans.
Similes! Where did the similes come from? They're so creative.
And when he finished the sandwich, the next period started, and Sonic and Tails went to the rest of their classes.
Sonic then went home at the end of the day and lied down on his bed and looked up.
Fuck everyone.
Though Sonic, inside of his head, not saying it out loud.
Fuck the world. I'm gonna die, and no one cares about me.
Sonic just lied and thought and then did a workout to become big and strong.
Sonic sat down at the end of it, though, tired and sweaty, but now strong.
What can I do?
Thought Sonic.
Wait. Amy and Rouge gets out of detention tomorrow.
Sonic looked at his body in front of him and then said,
I am gonna make that bitch pay.
we will take a donation if anybody wants to read some more of the narration. Does anybody want to join us up here?
You know you want to read this.
Anybody who wants to come up and try their hand at reading the narration?
I would love to read for
Yeah, you do.
please, come on.
Get up here.
Come on.
Unfortunately, I don't have to do it because
Fine.
my money, and I really forgot it.
Oh, that's okay.
Have the money later.
Here. Take over for me for a chapter.
Okay, cool. I also have it on my phone.
Oh, do you also? Are lots of people following along on their phones? It's pretty great.
I really like the
I've read part of this fanfic before.
I do remember,
favorite
yes.
part-
You were here for the first year we did it when we were in Salon B.
So I will
It was
introduce this chapter, which is chapter 21, Evil and Bad,
Please read the author's note.
with the author's note.
Amazon, it's Ed from Ed, Edd n Eddy, and Dr. Alphys from Undertale.
I think you've showed it to me before. It's been several years, though.
Anyways,
there's more now.
Chapter 21, author's note. Wow, I am back. I see that I have earned some haters while I was away, leaving mean reviews. But just so you all know, this story is rated M and is for mature audiences only. Just because you do not get or understand adult material does not mean you should pass judgment on it. So keep on hating on haters, because I am going to finish this story because it is so popular. If you leave nice reviews, thank you.
Sonic High School, Chapter 21. Sonic woke up out of his bed and on the floor and was still angry. Now, Sonic was Black Sonic, and he had a tattoo, like black people. Sonic got ready for school by putting on scary things, like chains and spiked collars that made him look bad, and went to high school, like black people did. Sonic went to his classes, but did not do what he was told to do in class. He did not talk to anyone. And instead, he went on the computer and looked at videos of cigarettes and knives.
Sonic then arrived near the lunchroom, which is where they were having lunch. Sonic just looked in from the outside while everyone was inside, and no one was outside but Sonic, like an alive snowman that looks in your window on Christmas. Sonic saw Amy and Rouge, looking all skinny, but now eating in such a happy way. Sonic could hear them talking.
Wow, I'm so glad we're out of detention,
said Amy to Rouge.
Yes, thanks to Silver, we have escaped from detention,
said Rouge to Amy. It looked like Silver did the hero thing to do and saved Amy and Rouge from detention, and now they were out. Sonic was not happy about it, though, being black. Haggard bitches, said Sonic to the window next to the door that he was looking through into the lunchroom from outside. Sonic saw Tails and Espio and all the other people go over to Amy and Rouge, laughing and smiling, that he hung out with before he turned black. And he got mad and sad and left.
Sonic walked by the lunchroom's food area, which was a different room but attached to the lunchroom, where there was a separate door that could get you into this part, where the food was made. Sonic walked by and looked in. The lunch lady was there, giving food to all the teenagers. And she saw Sonic and looked surprised at how he looked now with black fur and tattoo. But then she got over and waved and smiled. Sonic looked away and kept walking. Behind him, the lunch lady looked sad and disappointed and worried.
What?
Looked sad and disappointed and worried.
Sonic left the school completely, which was really bad and will get you in big trouble, and went to the Chinese restaurant. Sonic, not this again. Sonic got some Chinese food and ate it. And with his food came a magical fortune cookie, where there is this piece of paper inside with a magical fortune on it that tells the future.
I got this.
Sonic opened the cookie and ate it. Sonic opened the cookie and ate the cookie, but kept the paper. And it said,
"You will not have any friends if you are black."
Sonic thought about what it
have
said.
to. It's tradition.
No, it's not spelled that way. You added
No.
that.
no, that's actually how it's written.
You will not have any friends if you are black.
That's exactly. That's how you.
I would like to. They didn't O. Henry the Chinese accent. He's just adding that, by the way.
That's how you have to say it.
Sonic thought about what was said and wondered what it could mean and what it could mean for him, because it was so mysterious, always reading these cookies and their messages.
After Sonic went back to school and missed one of his classes, but went to the next one. But on the way to high school in the main hall, the hall man tried to stop Sonic. But Sonic punched him right in the face so hard that he almost died and got past him. Sonic finished his school day and then went home and punched things, leaving holes in everything that showed the key was stronger than everyone now. Sonic also looked at porn that was not like he usually did. Now with things like Africans and dragons. Sonic was becoming so scary. Even though he was very, very scary now as Black Sonic, his balls were still the same, and they did not get cured.
I'm really happy that the author took the time to clear that up. Thank you. I had not
We were
heard about his
all
balls.
bated breath waiting for that.
Yes, it became night in the world, but Sonic did not go to sleep like a normal person. In fact, when it got really dark out, Sonic got out of his room from the window and left. Because Sonic was black now, no one would see him in the dark, unless you looked specifically hard just for Sonic. But who was going to do that? Sonic left and went to a bad neighborhood and bought drugs like marijuana and ate some of them and kept the rest in his pocket.
I would like to point out that marijuana is spelled marrow like bone marrow, and wana, W-A-N-A.
Marijuana.
Sonic had really changed now from being the one with the best morals to the ones with the worst. Like a seagull becoming angry because it could not get any breadcrumbs in the parking lot.
I would just like to stop for a moment and say that the similes are fucking inspired.
Oh, absolutely.
Could you come up with this shit? No, I couldn't come up with this shit.
There is absolutely no way that this fanfic was not written as a trollfic because the grammar, spelling, syntax, and punctuation are
Whether
all
or not it's
way
a
to
troll
one
fic,
point.
the similes are inspired.
They're
okay,
great.
I don't know where this person's come up with this, but they're genius.
Sonic moved on from the bad neighborhood to where he wanted to go next, Amy's house. Sonic's brain was now being controlled by drugs, and he was becoming even worse than when he was just black. Now he's black and on drugs.
I'm so sorry.
Sonic went to Amy's window and looked into it and saw her sleeping in her bed like a DVD not being used.
Am I wrong? Are the similes not brilliant?
That's a woman for you.
His head
Greatest simile writer in history.
His head filled up with anger, but it was in a way that he actually became kind of happy and angry and laughed like he wanted to do something bad to her. Sonic looked down at his tattoo that said, "Fuck girls." And it reminded him of what she had done to him.
Sonic was so evil that he punched through the window and ran fast right to Amy's bed, and she started to wake up a little from being in sleep mode. Her eyes were just blinking a little, and she obviously could not see well at all, and especially could not see Sonic because it was dark, and he was now black, which was like camouflage. Sonic just started grinning at her with an evil look, and just as she started to open her eyes and see his white eyes above her, he punched her right in the face. Amy was now in a lot of pain, but still confused and surprised, and maybe thought she was nightmaring. But no, it was real. And new Black Sonic on drugs was about to beat all of her shit out of her.
All of her shit.
I would like to reiterate, but no, it was real. And new Black Sonic on drugs was about to beat all of her shit out of her.
I know. I've got to compose myself.
You haven't read a paragraph while you're there.
Okay, just let me scream. Fuck you, girl.
He screamed, but still smiled and punched her more in the face until all of her teeth got knocked out. I'm sorry, the motion over here. Just keep going.
No.
I'm sorry. Okay, sorry. And punched her more in the face until all of her teeth got knocked out, and she was like a grandma who could now only eat pudding and not steak. Amy was now screaming and crying, but he stuck a thing in her mouth. And she couldn't do anything.
What did he stick in her mouth?
And he was so mad, and under the powers of marijuana, everyone, marijuana. And he looked at her, and she looked so afraid and scared, but he was still smiling and angry. Sonic's black people rage. was coming.
People, sir.
It does not.
I'm so sorry.
Was coming out of his fist with violence.
Stay on point.
I'm starting to get a little.
Do you want to take it?
Go for it.
Go ahead.
Save me, please.
No. Alright.
Where are we?
But then all of a sudden.
All of a sudden, Amy kicked her foot up and hit Sonic right in the balls. Thank God, because the blankets were over Amy's foot. So as she did this, she did not touch Sonic's ball disease.
Ew.
It still hurt him very much, though, and he fell off her bed and was in pain from being hit in the balls, which is the most powerful spot on a man. So it hurts the hardest because it is like the information superhighway of your body.
That's right, guys.
Sonic hurt so much from this that it was like a hit to his brain, and all of the drugs fell off his brain. Sonic suddenly looked around him and saw he was in Amy's room. He ran over to the bed, kind of knowing what just happened, but wondering if it was just a dream, like Amy was thinking, but it was not. Sonic was lying over Amy's body, and they were both perfectly still like a couple of candy canes, but one was sitting on an invisible bench over the other. Their eyes were both so big as they looked at each other, both scared and shocked at what it was that was happening. Amy's mouth was all bloody and no teeth was in it, like a hole that went straight to China, but instead it was to her boobs and then vagina. Sonic and Amy did not say anything either.
Okay, oh god. Okay, we're gonna finish this chapter up real quick because holy shit, this narration is going on for way too long. It's gigantic blocks. Okay. Sonic looked sad and scared and got off her bed and backed away towards the side of the room and ran out of it. Sonic was feeling so many feelings, being scared and sad and shocked and surprised. He could feel like baby tears at the sides of his eyes, like Jewish people being thrown up in the air at a bar mitzvah.
That is not where I thought it was going.
Neither did I. He ran as fast as he could straight down the road. He ran out of town and through the forest like a deer that could use a car and to the edge of the forest where there was a giant cliff. Sonic ran off the edge of the cliff in order to die.
Any deer personas out there do that?
God. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank God.
Thank you. Thank you for contributing. We appreciate it. Do we have anybody else who would like to join us and read some narration? Please.
Thank God. This chapter starts with dialogue.
All right, come on up, please. You come on up.
Yeah. If you want to come up,
join us. Can you see things?
Yep.
Can you read the printer?
Yep.
Do we have any voice requests? Any charity voice requests we could use from Ernor here?
I am willing to change Sonic's voice and possibly Amy's voice. If somebody has a specific voice that they want to request for Sonic.
Can you see things?
Check the text on this.
You might need to let him your thing. And also a microphone.
I'm going to have to read the narration.
All right.
If you can read it.
Can you read?
It's the beginning of the chapter, right?
Yeah, it's the beginning of the chapter. We are at chapter 22. The saddest day ever.
Now it's stereo surround sound.
All right, lead us off, Ernor.
We are gathered here today to put Sonic into the ground.
This is where you come in. You might need to take off the head.
Set the funeral man.
Set the funeral man.
Sonic died the other day. A security camera in the woods saw Sonic run off the cliff, and he fell all the way down and hit the ground at the bottom next to the river. His body got so messed up, he is dead for sure.
Everyone at the funeral place, which they decided to put in the garden of the school, so they could Barry Sonic at high school, which is where he spent most of his time as a teen. All of Sonic's friends who were there were attending his funeral. Tails was right in front and was crying, and next to him was Amy, who was crying the most, and she was hugging Sonic's mom with her face in her boobs, who was crying too, but not so loud.
Can we just point out that Sonic has apparently committed suicide after massive domestic violence against Amy? I just want to point out he literally knocked her teeth out and literally beat the shit out of her. That's not okay. All right, carry on.
Like a honking horn on a bike that she was not squeezing too hard. Everyone was so sad, and Cream, who was wearing a big ring with a really big, shiny white shoe in it.
What?
And they were also...
Red jewel.
It says Jew.
If you're not following along on your phone, by the way, you really should be. The misspellings are quite excellent.
They're perfect.
Also crying because they are women. And they cannot control their emotions.
Wait, no, they're emo-tie-ons.
Oh, they're emotoins. Knuckles and Knuckles Jr. were there and being held and crying in a baby way. And there was Silver, who was crying, and a little, and even Espio too were. Ms. Lesson was there, and she was crying, which made her look uglier. And the lunch lady was there too, and even though she was very big and strong, she cried too because Sonic is dead. Sonic's Chinese doctor was there too. He did not cry because his eyes were too small to let them tears out.
Them tears.
Oh my god. Charmy and Vector were not at Sonic's funeral because they were dead now. Blaze the cat was not there because no one liked her and no one invited her.
Amy looked at Rouge and said to Rouge,
Rouge, where is Shadow? He said he was going to come to Sonic's funeral. He's not here.
Amy sounded weird and sad, and she did not have any teeth, so all of her words came out so idiotly. It was like she was a ghost who could not speak a language that humans could understand. She usually did not talk now that she did not teeth, because Sonic punched them out of her mouth and into space before he killed himself.
I do not know. I do not know. Is that he could be late? He's not here?
Said Rouge back to Amy in a sad way. They were right. Shadow was not there. Shadow was dark, but even he was not dark enough to go to Sonic's funeral. So why was it that he was not?
Tails,
said Amy now to Tails instead of to Rouge, who was on the other side of her, more towards the middle of it.
where is Shadow? Shadow is not here.
Tails looked really sad and crying some, and everyone thought he was going to kill himself in a few days because he is so sad and his best friend is now his dead friend.
I do not know, and it is pissing me off. I should send a robot to kill him,
said Tails, sounding mad and sad. Amy made a sad and disappointing face and said,
High school drama is so crazy. then the funeral man.
Give it to him.
Yeah, let him do it.
Okay, let's sum this all up. High school drama is so crazy, everybody. Isn't high school drama so... This is just... Who didn't go through this in high school? You didn't? Everybody did. This is just who didn't, have to kill their friend and turn them into dust and find rings in someone's vagina and, and then punch somebody's teeth out and throw themselves off a cliff and die and have a funeral. This is just, actually, to be fair, this sounds like pretty much any CW soap opera, so. You know what? He's in tune with the zeitgeist. What can I say? This author's great.
Then the funeral man went back to the front like a standing racehorse, going to the front and started talking again.
Hello, family and friends and teenagers. We're now going to talk about why we love Sonic so much and we miss him. Everyone please come up and say a nice thing about Sonic so we can remember him before we have to put him down.
Tails got up first and went to the spot where he was and said, Sonic was
my best friend. He was the coolest and the fastest. He always knew what to do when we were bored and wanted to have fun. We lived in different houses, but it is like we did not because we saw each other each day on the bus. I miss Sonic.
Go on.
Tails started to cry even more, and everyone thought that was sad, and Tails went back. And then Amy and Sonic's mom both did not go because they were both still crying too much, and Amy was embarrassed of her no teeth at all. Then got up Rouge, who was holding Knuckles and Knuckles Jr. like a sexy pelican carrying 2 watermelons in its mouth.
I'm going to miss Sonic so much, said Rouge. He was such a cool guy with the best morals and everyone knew his biggest. He was such a cool guy with the best morals and everyone knew his penis was bigger than
It was bigger than everyone else's.
Rouge was so sense-seeking, but it was okay, because it is all about saying good things about the dead person at a funeral, and everyone nodded anyway, because it was. Knuckles said,
I am a baby now, but I have always been Sonic's friend, and I miss him. And I want to thank him for taking care of me as a baby and helping me with my schoolwork as a baby now.
And then Knuckles Jr. said,
I only knew Sonic for a few weeks, but he is the coolest guy I have ever known. He was so fast and smart and good at everything. I wish he didn't kill himself.
Then Espio went and said some more sad things, and so did Cream and Silver and the rest of everyone, like a conga line of being sad. The lunch lady said that she will always miss Sonic, and that he was a nice boy, and that she wanted to take him and his friends to see Asia. And Sonic's doctor said that it might not be so bad that Sonic died, because now his ball disease has been neutralized. By the time that everyone was done saying things about Sonic, they were all so tired from crying and hungry that they needed to stop and have some food. They had caramel, because Sonic really liked it, after that time he had it on vacation. And they had soda, because it always made them smile. Soda makes bubbles, and it is cool because how they do it.
But still, even after they did all this, Shadow was not here, and some people thought that was rude. And Tails was about ready to find him and cut his homo throat.
Shadow was not here,
said Tails just out loud to everyone and not really anyone.
What the heck? Okay,
said the funeral man.
Stop eating. We are gonna have to put Sonic in the ground forever.
Everyone started to yell and cry because that meant Sonic would never come back. Because you would get so tired digging him up that you would quit even if he was alive. Everyone went back to the sitting zone and sat in chairs, and the funeral man and his dead person workers picked up the coffin like it was only a cotton candy suitcase and lifted it over the big hole in the ground they made for Sonic.
Okay, here he goes,
said the funeral man, and they dropped the coffin into the hole, and it made a loud sound.
No way,
said a voice from the back, and would you guess it? It was Shadow, who is now here at the funeral. Finally here, after it was almost done. And then he said,
I have to say something about my friend before you cover him with the dirt.
Oddly appropriate. Shadow walked up to the front and Tails reached out, punched him right in the balls as he was walking by, and it put Shadow's balls out of business.
Don't be late. Why are you late? This is so mean to Sonic and to everyone.
So mean.
What?
Sorry, I lost it.
That was okay. Don't be late.
Said Tails screamingly. Shadow was going backwards in pain because his balls felt like 2 apples getting eaten by birds.
Ow, sorry. Listen, I have reason. Just listen.
Said Shadow back in pain to Tails. Everyone pretty much agreed with Tails on punching Shadow to show him how to respect. But Silver said that he should listen to people before doing something, and the lunch lady said that sometimes you should be nice. Just be nice instead of being mean, and people will learn the lesson anyway. So even though Tails is the smartest, sometimes he gets a little crazy, and other people can teach him things that he did not know, but he is still the smartest. Shadow finished being in Super Ball pain and went to the speaking area and said,
okay, it's time for a soliloquy. Listen, everyone. Sonic, who died, has always been a friend. I may be a dark guy, and I may disagree with Sonic sometimes, but he's always my friend. And I miss him so much. Even though it has just been a few days since he jumped off the big cliff and messed up his body to death. But I have something I think everyone will all like.
Shadow took out a bag that looked glowing from it.
I've spent my whole life collecting Ultra Chaos Emeralds, and these are them. When they do is grant you one wish. You use them, and when you do, you have to hide them before you do, and you die. And after 100 years, someone else can find them again and use them. Well, it is time they are used once again.
Shadow held the bag of them up in the air and said,
Ultra Chaos Emeralds! I call up the guys and I use you to bring the powers down and give them to me to grant me the wish, my wish, I wish.
And he did a dramatic stop, and everyone looked shocked and amazed and surprised at what he was gonna wish for. What would Shadow wish for? Is it gonna be a lot of money? Shadow raised his face up.
I wish bring Sonic back to healthy life.
The bag glowed really hard, and everyone was making a big deal, talking and going around. The funeral man and his people got up Sonic's coffin out of the hole and put it back in front of everyone. The funeral man used his tool to open the coffin, and there was Sonic. He talked to him, shook him, and checked for a heartbeat. But no, fairy tales are not real, and Sonic was dead.
Yay!
All right,
Scrappy endings.
We have time for one more chapter. I'm going to take narration because it's a so we can get through. We only have 15 minutes.
Well,
when did the Chaos Emeralds become Dragon Balls?
Do we have time?
Well, I don't know. AV, I know this panel only goes to 1, but...
Does anybody else want to try narration?
Does anybody... How many of you guys want us to finish this thing off? We only have 3 chapters.
I mean, we could sit here. We got 23, 24, 25.
Yeah, that's it. We're only 3 chapters away.
If you guys want to stick with us, we can find out how this opus ends. Do you guys want to stick with us? All right, well,
okay.
You know what? We'll stay here until you guys leave us in disgust, which we would completely understand. But I'm going to take narration as much as possible because keep it moving quickly.
Yes,
all right.
good to go.
Kick us off, Ernor.
Okay. Wow, I feel like such an idiot.
Said Shadow inside of him to himself, not speaking out loud.
I thought I could revive Sonic from being dead, but I could not.
Shadow tried using the Ultra Chaos Emeralds to make Sonic become alive for another time, but he definitely did not. Shadow made a big deal out of it, and then everyone yelled at Shadow and throwed their shoes at him for being an ass. Now Sonic is way down in the ground and dead, so he has to keep going and figure out the rest of high school. Shadow went home by walking because taking Omega would have just made it too much longer to get to Sonic's funeral, so he went by walking. Shadow walked home and now he was there safely without getting hit by any cars at all. Shadow went up into his house and then his bedroom, and it was all a black and red place like a volcano inside. It looked dark and cool, but not scary like a haunted house, which is scary and it has ghosts.
I got this one. Shadow grabbed his sack and looked at his jewels and then put them back on the bed. Shadow looked at them, the Ultra Chaos Emeralds.
Wow, they are so pretty and big, but why do they not work?
Said Shadow. Shadow looked at them more, further, and he screamed because something was shocking to him. He knew what was wrong with the crystals, and what it was that one of them was missing. It was easy to see now that they were not in his bag, because the one he was missing was the white one, which looks less colored than the rest of them, because it is not powerful in a color like red, or yellow, or green.
Shit!
Screamed Shadow at his bed where the things were.
Where is the last crystal? I cannot find it. It's not here. Where did it go?
Shadow was screaming and going positively nuts about it all. Shadow felt like a mother kangaroo who lost her baby after it left her front pocket and left it behind in the jungle where there were dangerous things that would eat it because the crystal was so cool looking and big that anyone would take it if they saw it, even though the law said that if something is there, you have to bring it to the police so they can take it and show it to everyone to see if it is theirs. And if it is... Sorry, I lost it. The simile's going on forever. And if it is, they can have it without being nervous due to losing. That is the longest simile ever.
Shadow was so pissed because this did not happen, even though he lost it. I have to find it, screamed Shadow, like an Oprah singer seeing a ghost.
Shadow quick went to Omega, the name of Shadow's car, and got in it and touched him to make the map appear.
Omega, set your trackers to find the last Ultra Chaos Emerald because it's lost.
Omega made all kinds of beeping and computer noises sounding like a bag of technology.
Beep, beep, boop, here it is.
Said Omega to Shadow, sitting in the driver's seat. And on Omega's map screen came a red dot that said the last Ultra Chaos Emerald was there. It was not in the cityscape like before. Now it was much closer, so Shadow drove on fast.
Shadow finished and got into the place where the red dot was beeping about. Wow, this is a house, said Shadow. Does that mean someone stole the Ultra Chaos Emerald and put it in the house? Is that true?
Shadow got out of his car and went to the side of the house. It was only a little dark outside because it was not late enough or at night to be the darkest possible. So Shadow went to the window and looked inside. It looked normal, not like a crazy place. Shadow climbed up the side of the house into a window that looked like it was where the dot was coming from, and Shadow opened the window and broke inside.
Ow!
Said Shadow as he got in, hurting his foot a little. Screamed the person who was there in the room that Shadow broke into.
Cream!
Screamed Shadow at Cream, who was it.
Shadow, what are you doing here?
should not you be making a big fool of yourself at the circus like you were trying to do at Sonic's funeral? There was so much disrespect coming from you.
Cream stomped her feet and made a pissed face at him.
No, Cream, you do not see it.
Said Shadow, thinking but like an idiot, so he came out and saying a bunch, sounding not correct.
What? What do you want? If there's nothing, please leave my home before I call the police.
Said Cream to Shadow.
I am here to seduce you.
Said Shadow, finally deciding upon a thing. Shadow took out his big, black, cool penis. It was smoking at the end like he was just finishing getting ready for a big sex opportunity.
Oh my God, Shadow.
Said Cream, looking shocked.
What?
Shadow felt a little nervous, but he did not let it show on his face or his torrid genitals.
Yes, Cream, I want to pay for all of your children to go to school, but first, we have to make some children. I'm going to do that right in your vagina, okay?
Cream looked a little hesitant at first, but then said,
I accept this. I know I am true boyfriend and girlfriend with tails, but I feel bad for you when she kicked you at the funeral, and I want to make you feel better.
Said Cream, putting on a wink with her eyes. Cream took off her clothes and then fell out 2 boobs and a vagina.
Wow, you look so sexy, Cream.
Said Shadow, pretending to think she is the hottest. Shadow took his penis and planted it right into her mouth.
First we will do this.
Shadow put his penis into Cream's mouth and put it in and out and tried to see how far he could stick it in. Shadow's penis was so big it looked pregnant, and it looked like an anaconda having lunch at Subway.
Oh my.
Shadow got so far he almost filled up her lungs and she was coughing. Ellen was holding on to her vagina for... Who the fuck is Ellen?
Don't question it.
I swear to God, I'm reading it exactly as that.
That is what it says. I can confirm.
Ellen was holding on to her vagina for dear life because it was so sexy. To her, it felt like she was trying to eat too many pixie sticks. To Shadow, it was like he was trying to sharpen a pencil. Shadow penis was really big around, like an air-conditioned vent in just a building. It was hard for Cream to get a word in edgewise, but when she did, it was when Shadow took his penis out for only a tiny moment of geologic time, and she screamed,
Shadow, I'm drowning in the power of your penis. I'm so in love.
And then Shadow stuck his ridiculous penis back in her mouth, and she would be like a prisoner with handcuffs on her throat.
I got this. You embarrass me, said Shadow, smiling. Then Shadow took his penis out and picked Cream up. Let me take charge for a super ejaculation. Shadow laid Cream down on the ground and then took his penis with him, which was already huge and shaking with sex energy, and found Cream's piggy bank, which was full of coins and dollars. By the way, if you guys want to come up and donate to charity, we'd all totally be for that, which was full of coins and dollars and things to save up for money so she could buy what she wanted when she had enough inside of it. Shadow took it and, using his muscular penis, smashed a hole right through the piggy bank, so now it was sitting on the top of his penis like a hat. Shadow's penis looked like it belonged in a fashion show. Huh? What are you doing? Said Cream, who looked confused but sounded so happy from doing a sex still. She was smiling and laughing. Shadow lifted her head up so she could see her big heavy piggy bank on her penis, but not wagging, because his penis was so strong. I'm doing this for good, Cream. Sorry.
Then Shadow swung his penis at her head on the side like a hammer and hit the piggy bank into her head and knocked her unconscious.
Shabams!
Cream was now on the floor, not responding to life. and Shadow took the piggy bank off his penis and stuck his penis in her vagina to finish his boner ejaculation. Shadow rammed his penis back and forth, and because she was not responding and using her vagina to make his penis feel better, he had to do all the sex. And he stuck his penis so far up that he accidentally bumped her heart with his penis. But she was still okay. Shadow's tumescent penis finally exploded into an ejaculation, and 999
screaming ghosts
finally Screaming Ghost rushed out of his penis like he was opening Panera's box.
And flew through her body out of her mouth and escaped into the atmosphere and left stains on the carpet. Okay. Now, it's time for what it really came for, said Shadow out loud. Shadow did not even bother putting his penis back where he found it, and instead went to work looking for the Ultra Chaos Emerald. He looked through all of her things, and even behind pictures and posters. Cream had a lot of posters on the walls of things that teenage women liked, such as the famous boy band One Sonic Direction, and famous television shows like Gossip Sonic, and Pretty Little Sonic, and iSonic, and famous books like Sonic Twilight, and 50 Shades of Sonic. Sonic looked through all of these things, and even in her lip gloss and purse full of teen girl blood diapers, and could not find it. Then, he got to her jewelry cabinet, and opened it, and there, he saw the big ring with the big jewel that Cream was wearing at Sonic's funeral. And it was, actually, the Ultra Chaos Emerald. Yeah, I found it! How did this get here? Shouted Shadow, picking up the ring and taking the Ultra Chaos Emerald out of the ring and into his hand. Then, when Shadow was standing there with Cream unconscious on the floor filled with nudity, and his penis and his fat penis hanging down around his body like a dog going down the stairs, and a big shiny crystal in his hand, Tails flew into the window and thusly the room.
Tails hardly even looked at the situation and said,
"It is okay. I know exactly what is going on."
Oh, guys, we are out of time. We have 2 more chapters. I don't know. Do you guys want to stick it out?
Let's do it.
Do you guys want to? I mean, you guys have been an extremely loyal audience. We will keep going. I'm sorry. Panera's box ruined me.
I will say this, guys. I know if you guys think this last sex scene was crazy, you haven't seen anything yet.
We will try to go fast. We will go as fast as we possibly can. I will do all dialogue of it. All right, so. All right, I'm sorry. Narration. You take out.
We'll switch up.
Oh, except when you. All right. Tails was sitting in the back of the car where Amy was sitting in the front seat where you do not drive it, and Sonic's mom was sitting in the front seat on the left where you do drive it. The car was an SUV. They were all dressed in nice clothes because they were driving back to Sonic's house from Sonic's funeral. Tails looked like a secret agent because he was wearing a suit, but he must have been the saddest secret agent ever.
I am so sad,
said Amy in a crying way, sounding like the complete collection of teen idiot quotes because she did not have teeth. She was only talking now that there were people not in the car.
I know you are, and so am I. Tails, are you sad?
Said Sonic's mom to Tails.
Yes, I am sad,
said Tails to Sonic's mom in an answer to her question.
I know, it is really difficult and sad when somebody dies. Especially now that is Sonic,
said Sonic's mom, not crying, but sounding really sad. She cried a lot at the funeral, but now she was being more normal and not making a big scene, like a hot dog man selling hot dogs at a baseball game.
I know. It's like, I just...
said Amy, trying not to cry about how Sonic is dead and she is sad.
I just want everything to go away.
Amy started to cry again because she is just so emotionally weak, like a goddamn child.
I understand you're sad, Amy, but I have to tell you something. Please, do not kill yourselves, okay?
Said Sonic's mom in a very sad and meaning it way.
Being a teen is the hardest thing in the world. It is harder than being in the war or in jail. I knew it, but do not kill yourselves, because it will get cooler when you are done being a teen.
Tails looked down at the ground of the car and did not know what to say, but he said,
okay.
He said it in a sad and quiet way. What was real was that Tails really did want to kill himself now that Sonic was dead. What was the point of living if you were not going to do it with your best friend, Sonic?
Then they got to Sonic's house, and they went inside. And just after they took off their fancy clothes, then Rouge and Espio came over with Knuckles, and Knuckles Jr., who were there. Rouge looked very burlesque in her tiny baby dress, with her unlimited boobs nearly jumping out of her clothing. And Espio looked like a professional movie star on the red carpet because he was wearing a suit. Knuckles and Knuckles Jr. looked like shrunken presidents because they were also wearing suits. Everybody, ready? 1, 2, 3. Hello, they all said togetherly.
Wow, hi,
said Tails to them.
We have to go talk to Sonic's mom to try to cheer her up and to be nice,
said Rouge and Espio, and they gave Knuckles and Knuckles Jr. to Tails, who took them into a different room.
I am so sad about Sonic,
said Knuckles Jr.
This is literally the worst thing that could have happened. Yes, this is the saddest,
said Knuckles.
Sonic did not deserve to die.
They were all agreeing so much about it. After a while of not talking, Knuckles said,
Hey, Tails, at the end of school is tomorrow, and I have my last test. And I have my last ending test that decides if I move on to the next grade, or I lose, and I have to go back to the start of high school.
Tails looked at Knuckles in a deep way and said,
Wow, that is a lot of pressure. What do you have to do?
Tails was trying to be nice and helping to Knuckles because he was a baby now. But most of the time when people complained about school to Tails, Tails just thought, not saying,
Are you the king and queen of idiots?
Because Tails was the smartest, and school was all just so easy to him. Even the hardest classes that they made for geniuses.
What I have to do is write a new story about an event happening around town. It has to be real,
said Knuckles. Knuckles looked like a worrying boy and made a sound that showed he is worried. Knuckles was a baby.
There is everything that I can lose to this,
he said in a way.
I'll find a story for you to do your new story on, and hopefully you will pass and not have to go all the way back to the beginning of high school, costing you thousands of dollars in lost fees.
Said Tails to Knuckles, seriously. Then Tails asked to both of them,
Hey, you, can you please give me all of your baby teeth?
Knuckles and Knuckles Jr. took out their baby teeth and gave them to Tails, using his technology and tools and good old-fashioned elbow lubricant. Tails glued all of the teeth together and make enough teeth for one normal person mouth and went down steps.
Here, Amy, here's a thing for you,
said Tails, looking at Amy, who looked like a total dumpster ever since Sonic punched all her teeth out before he killed himself. At least we have continuity, guys. At least
Don't you dare start giving this author credit.
You can, hey, at least the continuity of the teeth being punched out, that is being maintained. You can use these teeth, and they will feel just like you never lost your teeth. Amy grabbed them from out of Tails' hand and put them into her mouth, and they fit so perfectly like a Pop-Tart in most toasters.
Wow, Tails, this feels so great. Okay, guys, so for Amy, I could do a pretty, sexy voice.
Do it. Okay. Switch to sexy voice for Amy, now that she has teeth back.
Now that she has teeth back. Well, she's done by being a scratchy voice teen and says, Wow, Tails, this feels so great. How on earth did you manage to get teeth from me?
Said Amy, now sounding like she was no longer a teen loser. Amy hugged Tails.
No need to worry. You could just thank the modern efforts of science.
Tails cheered and danced a little, and Amy thanked pharmaceutical companies. And then Tails went back over to where Knuckles and Knuckles Jr. were. Then Tails went to Knuckles Jr., who was also there, and started to do a conversion with him.
Hey, Knuckles Jr., how are you?
Said Tails to Knuckles Jr.
I'm good.
Said Knuckles Jr.
But sad, of course. I did not see this coming at all.
Knuckles Jr. hugged his legs to his body like an imaginary tree that could bring its roots up and use them as legs.
Yeah? What is your deal? Are you really psychic? Because you're just a babe.
Said Tails in a curious way.
I seem to be able to see the future sometimes, but I cannot always control it. As you see it, I'm just a babe. But when I get older, I can possibly use my powers to win the lottery and become the CEO of Progressive Car Insurance.
Said Knuckles Jr. Knuckles Jr. was saying this to Tails.
Okay,
said Tails.
Tails also went inside his hugest brain that now he did not want to kill himself anymore. He was still sad, but talking to babies made him realize that there was a lot more to come in life, and good things, and if Sonic is dead, it is not the end of the world, but only the end of Sonic, which is sad.
Tails went downstairs into Sonic's garage by himself and found Sonic's electrical guitar and had it.
Sonic used to play on this.
Said Tails to the ears of the world, thinking about when Sonic played cool rock and roll songs. Tails put the guitar onto his body and held it and thought for a minute and then began to play a song. He played a sad song that was not too mad or happy sounding, but was not a slow song. It was a medium song that did not go too fast, so you would dance, or too slow, so you would fall to sleep. Then Tails closed his eyes and just knew the words that he wanted to sing as he felt them, and he sang them out loud while playing this song that he just made up. And the words to the song he just made up
You know we're going to have to do it this, right?
Dude, go ahead.
Okay.
Please take it away.
All right.
Being a teen is so hard. You have to learn how to drive a car. And if you hit anything, it is to jail. It is to you that jail. It is you to jail they will bring. You also have to go to school. It is definitely not for fools. And everything is harder because my best friend died. Oh wow, my best friend died. I just want to hide. High school drama is so hard to be a part of. It has crazy things like friendship and love. It is the worst. It makes me want to burst. You have to get a date or everyone will laugh. And in a lake, they would push you off on a raft. Girls get makeup and guys get tattoos. And they make up many possible drugs to do. And they also bullies all around. And sports with balls that are round. And everything is hard because my best friend died. Oh wow, my best friend died. I just want to hide. High school drama is so hard to be a part of. It has crazy things like friendship and love. It is the worst. It makes me want to burst. I'm doing the middle finger at God, but God is not real. The world is odd. I am crying so much that my tears could make a cave. When you cannot be scared, you must be brave. I am tired of teens going on diets and being mad and starting riots. Because everything is harder because my best friend died. Oh wow, my best friend died. I want to hide. High school drama is so hard to be a part of. It has crazy things like friendship and love. It is the worst. It makes me want to burst. Oh, my best friend died. I just want to hide. High school drama is so hard to be a part of. It has crazy things like friendship and love. It is the worst. It makes me want to burst.
Tails singing sounded like a beautiful butterfly telling its life story to a little boy who fell asleep on a bench in the park without losing his money to a common thief.
I don't have enough blues left for this.
Tails finished singing his song and he saw all of the tears that were now at the bottom of his feet on the ground in a pool so big he could invite a cruise ship to do its first cruise in the pool. But then, all of a sudden, Tails turned and saw Knuckles Jr. at the door to the garage.
That was really sad to hear,
said Knuckles Jr.
But it is a healthy way to get rid of your emotions, instead of killing yourself.
Then Knuckles Jr. walked forward into the room and tripped in a way that the door behind him closed and was now locked, and they were in the room, so they were locked in there.
Oops,
said Knuckles Jr. like an idiot baby.
Oh no,
screamed Tails out loud.
If only we had a lockpick,
said Knuckles Jr. Then, all of a sudden, everything came to Tails, and he realized what just happened over the past events.
There are J's using this information and my big intelligence. I know what is happening,
shouted Tails. Tails got so excited that he spun his flying tail so hard that he went right through the locked door, so it was open now, and went out of Sonic's house and went directly to Cream's house without even celebrating at an ice cream place first.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to start the final chapter of this
final chapter.
wreck.
Thank you for sticking with us. We're going to get through this.
So much.
The final chapter, chapter 25, is called Summer.
If any of you guys want to give a last-minute donation, we would greatly appreciate it.
We will take it. We will take a
reader. We will take whatever you
But if you guys just want to listen to us read this last chapter, we're very flattered that you have stuck with us. This has been hilarious, and I really enjoyed this, and we're really glad that you stuck with us.
I also take donations in liquor, please God.
Oh my God, there's not enough liquor.
Not even enough.
Carry on.
Not even close. Chapter 25, Sonic High School, Chapter 25.
Summer.
Now I am here in Cream's room, and here you are, Shadow,
said Tails to Shadow, who were both standing there.
Do not be alarmed. What? I do not know what to say,
said Shadow to Tails with a big worried face, like a coconut with those 3 holes, like a bowling ball.
No, it is okay. You were doing exactly what I knew you would be doing. And I understand why,
said Tails in a cool and not angry way to Shadow, responding.
You are here to get what Cream has. And that is the last Ultra Chaos Emerald, which is what is in your hand.
Tails, being smart, was right. Shadow was holding the last Ultra Chaos Emerald, and it was in Cream's room, in a ring.
Oh!
Shouted Shadow.
Usually, I am the one with the brain behind doing a crime. Please.
Explain to me. You all know this.
Well,
said Tails loudly, like a rock star.
It started when Amy and Rouge got locked away in the detention zone.
Tails then sat on the windowsill and explained the whole thing, that was how Amy's bracelet ended up in Cream's vagina, and why Cream had the last Ultra Chaos Emerald, and why Sonic did not come back to life when Shadow tried to use them.
Amy and Rouge were in detention, and Cream wanted to help them before they got to stop. They turned into a starving woman whose reproductive systems died because they didn't have enough nutrition to create a child ever again. So Cream decided to be a good friend, like I have always been to Sonic. And she went and broke into your Shadow's room to steal your lockpick. She knew that you would have a lockpick because you are always saying about how you do crimes in the city environment. So, Cream went and broke into your room and stole a lockpick, like Jill. But she was there, and she also saw the Ultra Chaos Emeralds and took the white one because it looked like riches. Wow, she is a steely bitch,
screamed Shadow to Tails' listening body.
What is wrong with the succubus?
Shadow stomped his feet and bothered to put his penis back now that it was small from listening to Tails talk, and not have pretend crime rescue sex with Cream.
For this last chapter, I'm going to go back. For this last chapter, I'm going to go back to Chris Walken, but I'm going to make him speak fast because doing Tails' lisp is a little bit difficult.
There's a lot of dialogue, so he
got it. So that. Just wait and listen, fagnips,
said Tails to Shadow, still a little mad at Shadow for being the asshole at Sonic's funeral, but mostly forgiving him now for doing this.
Then what happened was Cream, as Hal's monster,
was able to go into the detention room because she had the power as an inside agent. She could put the lockpick way up in her vagina as a hiding spot because it was going to look there, even if her bodily comes to take and carry goods. She went over to Amy in a sneaking way and moving her mouth without saying the words, by not making sound, but by still making it look she was talking and not saying them in her head, whether she was still doing it with her mouth so you could see. Told Amy to reach up into her vagina. Cream's vagina was so small and Junior at the time because she was not in luck. And so when Amy stuck her hand up into Cream's vagina, her bracelet got stuck up in there and stayed up there till she could not even get the lockpick away because Cream's vagina was basically like a pencil case full of beaded money. It was too hard and small to get up, but it was good at holding things like Spider-Man. So Amy's bracelet was in there, and Cream had to leave before she became the biggest suspect ever. And Amy did not notice her bracelet was gone because she was so hungry and needing soda. And she put a new one on when she got home anyway, so it was like she did not even notice. And then, when Sonic died, Cream was wearing the last Ultra Chaos Emerald. So, it did not work because the jewels have to be touching for a man to get out the wish. Wow. It made so much sense. It is so obvious.
Is it?
Said Shadow the Tails with a big eye face. I cannot believe I didn't think of it at first. Maybe I'm so dark and it's hard to see sometimes.
Shadow laughed and blackbirds flew above outside like planes running up high with invisible legs.
Yeah, but now we have to use them. We have to bring Sonic back to life.
Tails creamed at Shadow.
Okay, now because it's very difficult to tell time away, so and Christopher walking apart, I'm gonna give Shadow Snake's voice. But first, we have to get Amy because she is Sonic's girlfriend. And then, if we're gonna bring him back from but first we have to get Amy because she is Sonic's girlfriend, and she should be there if we are gonna bring him back from hell.
Shouted Shadow in an ideal way.
We're almost there.
Tails and Shadow held hands and ran out the window, and then Tails flew them with his flying tails to Sonic's house where everyone was. Tails and Shadow got there and slammed the door open like a football team, making a slammer's noise. Then they went and found Sonic's mom, who said Amy was in the other room, and Tails and Shadow went to the other room and opened that door too. Amy was inside that room, watching Rouge refill Knuckles and Knuckles Jr. using her whopping boobs. Rouge was wearing an itty-bitty tiny baby bra that was so small like she got it from Gymboree, and her boobs were so super big like a couple of planets that were pretty much breaking the bra parts because they were so big. There's a rumor about the town that you could see Rouge's boobs from space.
Rouge, your boobs out again. What are you doing?
Said Tails to Rouge, and then Rouge and Amy looked at him.
Tails, I'm feeding Knuckles and Knuckles Jr. from my boobs. It is natural and healthy to do this,
said Rouge. Rouge's boobs were so big that it was like Tails and Shadow could not almost fit into the room with her. They were all watching the video of Knuckles and Knuckles Jr., the baby, kissing that Sonic had made of them to inspire his kissing powers, because watching it made Rouge made Rouge make more boob food.
And I am watching, so I know how to do it one day,
said Amy, who still looked a little sad because Sonic died, but smiling.
Cool,
said Tails.
Can I try?
Tails and Shadow went over to Rouge's boobs. By the time they got over there, this happened.
Oh no, they're empty. Sorry,
said Rouge to Tails and Shadow.
And it's supposed to be for babies most of the time anyway. If you are in love.
Aw, man.
Yelled Shadow to the clouds.
Next time.
Said Tails, winking at Rouge and her illegally sized boobs.
Anyway, we're going to go bring Sonic back to life. Come on. What? No, not again. You beguilers. Wait, what the fuck is the word beguilers doing?
Beguilers. Not again, you beguilers. Amy screamed and almost punched one of them in the face for doing another disrespectation to Sonic's dead version.
Listen, woman. Listen, woman of the night.
Said Shadow in a disrespecting way.
We are for real this time. Something was messed up, and it was all Cream's fault. Or maybe even yours, if you go back far enough in the way everything happened in the world. Let's go.
I don't know.
Said Rouge.
You were an idiot as last time at the funeral.
No, listen to them.
Said Knuckles Jr. to Rouge, who was cool, not a nerd.
Go.
God, that baby is the genius.
Said Shadow, knowing that he was right and that they should go with them. Tails was the smartest.
Okay.
Said Amy, and they all put their things into bags and left. Knuckles, who was now a baby, made sure to put his camera with him close. Then they told everyone else in the house who was there for the funeral, which was all of the important people that you know, and they ran faster than a boulder to high school, where Sonic's funeral was and where he was put in the ground now, but not covered up yet because they did not get to start, because the funeral was only a few hours ago, and they did not have to do it right away because it was the safest neighborhood, not like the city, where Sonic's body would get stolen and sold for drugs and motorcycles. Everyone ran just so fast to the funeral
vroom, vroom, gotta go
spot at the
fast.
high school, and when they got there was Sonic's coffin in the hole.
Here we are, at the funeral spot now.
Said Tails to everyone, of course.
We gotta get out, but how?
Screamed Amy and started to cry like a girl tea kettle.
God damn it, Amy.
Said Tails in a bad, serious voice.
Stop acting like a children.
Tails thought Amy was being the Kraken of drama just because Sonic was dead.
What we need to do is figure out, using our brains, how to get Sonic out of this hole.
Tails rubbed his chin with his smart hands and tried to get his genius brain running like the engine of 10 red cars.
Oh God. Now this is literally how the voice is described, so none of you can be mad at me. Excuse me. Let me through, please.
Said a big retarded voice from the back of the group of people standing around Sonic's hole.
Oh, the lunch lady.
Shouted Tails in a happy way.
Hello, children.
Said the lunch lady, who was also at Sonic's funeral and Sonic's house after the funeral. The lunch lady was very big and tall and went in Sonic's hole and tossed the coffin right out onto the ground next to it.
There you go.
Said the lunch lady with a face full of smiles. She was deaf, too.
Cool.
Said Tails.
Thanks. Shadow, where are you?
Shadow came in from the backer area where it was dark under a tree because Shadow was the darkest person everyone knew.
Here I am. God, I need some water. Here I am, Tails. And here are my jewels.
Said Shadow as he grabbed his sack.
Ready? Here goes nothing.
Yelled Tails like a gay little boy. Don't you just hate when people say that? Shadow grabbed his jewels and made sure all 7 of them were there, and they were there. He was so nervous because if this did not work, they would surely put him under a citizen's arrest for being a public ass. If he did not do this right, he would die, and Tails would too now because he was doing it with him, and they would throw rocks at him.
Using Ultra Chaos Emerald.
Said Shadow.
I wish, out of the gods, to grant my wish. They can bring back Sonic up to normal, healthy life here.
The bag glowed a whole lot and made screaming noises, and a big stick of light came down from the sky and hit the bag, and all of the Ultra Chaos Emeralds started to go crazy. They were making sounds like frogs and trains and horses, and hitting into each other and shooting out lights and being basically a circus. Shadow and Tails were squinty with their eyes like the Chinese doctor who touched Sonic's balls.
Wow!
Screamed Amy.
Oh my god!
Screamed Rouge.
Cool.
Screamed Espio.
What?
Screamed Knuckles.
A miracle!
Screamed Knuckles Jr. Just then, Cream got there from being unconscious at her house and screamed,
No way! Wow!
Screamed Silver.
Whoa! Oh wow, very impressive.
Said Sonic's really Chinese doctor.
Wait, I gotta do that right.
Do it again.
Yeah. Oh wow, very impressive.
Said Sonic's really Chinese doctor in a less loud way, and the lunch lady said something too, and so did Sonic's mom and Miss Lesson. Then everything in the world just became super bright. No one could see a thing for a moment, and they could not hear or they noticed either because there was a ringing sound in their ears. It was so crazy, like being inside a marshmallow filled of ringing sounds. Then everyone peeked out behind their hands at where they were looking, and all the Ultra Chaos Emeralds were gone. And Sonic's coffin was open. And look, there was Sonic. Sonic was standing on his coffin where he was inside, and he was on top of it, smiling, and not black anymore, but regular old blue Sonic. Yes, it really happened!
Hey guys, what did I miss?
Shouted Sonic in his regular old cool way.
Ready, everybody? 1, 2, 3.
Sonic! Screamed everyone at the same time because they were all there and heard and saw him together. It's just so natural. They all ran at him and he went down from the coffin and everyone was hugging and it was just so beautiful to see.
I heard Eggman was laughing at my funeral. What an ass!
Said Sonic and he laughed because he was the most living person ever now.
Wow, Sonic, you're alive!
Said Tails to Sonic.
You bet!
Said Sonic and high-fived him, which is already after they hugged because they are best friends, but Sonic hugged everyone else too.
Wow, Sonic, you are really the fastest.
Said Knuckles Jr.
You came back to life in 2 days. You beat the world record for fastest coming back to life. It took Jesus 3 days!
Knuckles Jr. was right! Sonic was the fastest and it is now proved completely!
Sonic, I miss you. I forgive you.
Shouted Amy, crying and happy. Amy cried so much. She was such a loser about emotions.
Amy.
You know we're gonna have to trade out this last couple of paragraphs.
Yeah, fine.
Amy, I was thinking a lot about you when I was dead, said Sonic, before typical gay girl Amy cut him off in a rude way. It doesn't matter, Sonic. I want to become true boyfriend and girlfriend with you right now.
Screamed Amy and did holding on Sonic's hands. Sonic looked surprised.
What? Now? Right now?
Said Sonic with a question voice.
Yeah, right now.
Yelled Amy.
Let them watch. This is true love.
Then Amy leaped out of her clothing, except her underwear is like a horse jumping out of a plane and landed in front of Sonic's body, ready for his grand genitals. And Sonic already had all of his clothes off by the time she started to jump because he is the fastest.
Yeah! Sex!
Shouted Sonic, and he finally revealed his penis. Go ahead.
There. Finally revealed his penis. His penis instantly grew to dangerous levels. He swinged it around and everyone had to duck or jump over it. Sonic's penis was just the biggest penis anyone ever saw. It was like he had the World Trade Center sitting on his balls. His balls were super big too. Like beanbag chairs full of olives. Yeah.
I'll take the next one.
Hang on, I got it. Hang on, I'm just gonna catch my breath. I got the next one too.
Yes, my measurements were correct.
Said Sonic's extra Chinese doctor.
Yes. Yes, my measurements were correct.
Said Sonic's extra Chinese doctor.
His penis and balls are definitely the biggest available.
Amy was so filled with sex and arousing that her boobs were rock hard. She opened up her legs and she was still wearing a panty, but her vagina was really hard too, like a trap door to the love basement.
Oh my.
Sonic did not care and he shot his incredible penis right into her vagina through her girl clothing, and she felt his love immediately. His penis was ice cold, and it was so big that it made it up in her body and into her mouth, and she could taste it, and it tasted like money and ice cream.
I love you, screamed Sonic, grabbing his penis in and out of her body like a drain cleaner. I love you too,
screamed Amy, trying to make words while Sonic's penis rearranged her internal organs. Sonic took his penis out and beat her boobies back and forth with it, and she loved it. Sonic's pensy was so strong that it made her roll back and forth, and by now she was so in love that her vagina was shooting whipped cream.
Yeah, wait for me, shouted Sonic, laughing like a millionaire. Sonic did legendary sex moves to Amy, like picking her up with his penis and doing tricks, like brushing her teeth with his penis, and letting her walk on it like a tightrope walker, but with his penis. He even put Amy and him up into his coffin, and he wiggled his penis back and forth in her vagina, while in the coffin, like a beef slinky. Sonic's penis was so big and long and wide that you could fit families inside of it. If you think you have seen a bigger penis, you have not, because Sonic was in love now.
Amy's vagina was... Oh, you want it?
Yeah, I got it. Amy's vagina was breathing hard and reaching out for Sonic's penis, and soon he put it back into her vagina and decided to do a final system check. Before taking off into the seminosphere, Sonic grabbed his balls and held them back against his body and ran into Amy with his penis. And his penis immediately flooded her vagina with his flesh and creamy s'mores. He shot so much semen into Amy that it was coming out of her ears. Eventually, he took his penis out and shot out more, but like bullets. He even shot one into the sky, so that night someone noticed Venus was about 10 feet to the red rose. That is because Sonic's semen bullet hit it. Sonic!
Screamed Amy.
Marry me!
Amy kneeled up from on the ground, holding a big ring like the ones she wore, and held it in front of her face. Sonic looked at it, smiled, and shoved his show-stopping penis right through the ring and into her mouth, and she yelled a passionate sound, and Sonic said,
I will marry you.
Amy drank all of the semen that she could and grew an inch in height from it. Then Amy took out the real rings that she had, and Sonic and Amy put them on so they could get married.
You just had sex,
screamed Tails.
You just became true boyfriend and girlfriend. Congratulations, Sonic and Amy. Wow,
said Espio.
I thought I was a sex professional.
I am seeing true love,
shouted Rouge. Everyone laughed and cheered as Sonic and Amy finished doing sex and kissed each other's penises and vaginas and balls one more time for good luck. Then they put their clothes on that Silver had folded and put in piles for them because he was just a really good, nice guy.
Hey,
shouted Knuckles.
Thanks. I got my story now.
Knuckles waved to a bunch of pictures of Sonic and Amy having sex in the high school garden area and the article that he had just wrote attached to it.
Cool. I am happy I did help you,
said Sonic, winking, still feeling like super sex Sonic.
Yes, that is wonderful,
said a big voice behind him in an important way.
We do have one last opportunity here for.
Does anybody want to come join us last time? We are
does anybody want to give the principal a voice?
Last chance.
I can. Dude, I've got a voice for him.
All right, give him the voice.
Captain, the greatest lover of all, Captain James T. Kirk.
All right. Oh, not too many pauses, please.
No. He's going to be quick.
All right.
Yes, that is wonderful,
said a big voice behind him in an important way.
Hello, I am the principal of the high school.
Wow, the president?
Shouted Sonic. Seeing the principal is like seeing a celebrity because he only came out one day every year.
Yes, Sonic, you are the best,
said the principal.
Yes, he is,
said Amy to the principal.
We just had sex right here, and he is my true boyfriend now.
The principal laughed and smiled.
Wait a minute,
yelled Sonic to the principal. Sonic gets a speech here. Please, everybody stand for Sonic's speech, please. Sonic has a wonderful speech here. This is the end, pretty much. So,
you literally have to stand to do this because otherwise you run out of oxygen.
Wait a minute.
Yells Sonic to the principal.
I may be the best at some things, but everyone here is the best at some things. Amy is the best at being nice and having emotions. Tails is the best at being smart and fly. Shadow is the best at doing crimes and driving and being dark, but also being nice. So he is the best at being two things at the same time. Espio is the best at jumping and getting teenage women. Rouge is the best at seducing and being in love and a mom. Knuckles is the best at doing high school while still being a baby. And he was the best at fighting before becoming a baby. Knuckles Jr. is the best at being psychic and being cool while still being a baby. Cream is the best at being happy and kind of smart. Silver is the best at acting and being nice and normal and cool. The lunch lady is the best at making people happy and being strong. The Chinese doctor was the best at medical things and Asian abilities. Sonic's mom is the best at cooking and cleaning. Miss Lesson is the best at teaching and being the nurse. Vector is the best at biting and making people mad.
No, he's dead! He's dead! He's turned to dust!
And Charlie was the best at dancing and singing, but now they are dead.
Yes, okay, alright.
I am the best at being fast, being moral, relieving others, and most other things.
Yeah! Said everyone else together to save time, patting each other on the backs and laughing and smiling and cheering because they were all the best in some way.
I guess that is true,
said the principal.
I really want to thank you, though, Sonic. You have the best morals. Everyone here needs to learn from you about what high school is really about. It is not about the drama and about being mean and being crazy. That kind of being mad or sad or making other people mad and sad. High school is about falling in love and getting married and maybe having kids. Thank you, Sonic, for showing everyone this. And also, Knuckles, I am very impressed with your story, and even though you are just a baby, and you pass this year of high school, and do not have to go back to start and pay thousands of dollars in fees and charges.
Knuckles cheered and hoorayed like a baby, and the principal shook Sonic's hand and could not help but look at how big Sonic's penis was, even when it was not out.
Hey!
Said Tails to Sonic and everyone.
Today is the last day of school. It is summer now.
Yeah, cool, great! Shouted everyone together at the same time.
Good.
Said the principal to everyone and then to Sonic.
Now, I can do what I want to do, and it is rename high school in your honor.
The whole big group of everyone laughed and smiled and walked away toward the sun, ready to go have summer before they would have to return to the new Sonic High School! Woo!
Thank you, everybody!
Thank you, everybody! Thank you, everybody, for sitting
Everyone who donated, thank you guys very much. This has been
Please go forth and be wonderful. Thank you very much. We appreciate the extended session. Oh my God!
Thank you so much.
That was amazing. We hope you have had many laughs and many gay ball diseases. I don't know.
Yes.
What's up?
Why were they in detention, and how did they get turned into a baby?
I don't remember. It was early. I have to go.
Things happen. High school drama on a serious basis.
Yeah, the proper answer to that is, it was a year ago, liquor was involved, more liquor has been involved. We've been doing this panel for about an hour longer than we should have, and that's that.
Great.
Silver Gattoman, he bought me a coffee. Silver Gattoman, here is the song for thee. He likes to video all the panels at the cons. You should go and watch them whether they are short or long. Silver Gattoman, you video that's not a jibe. All of you go to his YouTube channel and like and subscribe.